I've always said never outsource your ability to think critically, okay? Your ability your ability to create, okay? Your ability to synthesize information, to vet information, right? Your ability to criticize information. You always have to have, because that ability is very personal, and a lot of time is it based on your experience, and it's very important. Uh, you don't want to diminish the importance of your experience. Okay, and so this video is going to be about the platforms, like for instance, Google, Apple, and other platforms. Uh, and for those who don't understand is, for instance, let's take example of Apple. So Apple basically controls all the applications that on the iPhones, all the applications that you find on iPhones. Meaning, if you're using an app through your iPhone, right? App will approve that, and that they have a specific requirements, guidelines that you have to follow. Then your app will be approved according to their standards. So they have basically a marketplace for applications, right? So basically, you are what do you call it? A third party, right? Or a middleman. The middleman, in order to reach the users, you have to go through Apple. You have to bring it to the Apple and pay them, because you have to pay them yearly. That's only one category, right? But if you are selling items, they will charge you 30%. Okay. So, but the issue is sometimes Apple, they have their own applications. Okay. And they come up with their own applications. And those applications might be better, might not. But those applications go in competition with the other applications that are paying for the platform. And I think there's a case to be made that this is a conflict of interest. Okay. Because Apple cannot at the same time be the middleman and also be the main source of products of selling. So if you are a small entrepreneur, you cannot you cannot compete against Apple. You know, Apple is supposed to be neutral because it's a marketplace for ideas. Because people are bringing their products to sell it to users, and they are paying Apple. And in return, Apple is building their own products. Okay, they have the means that go against the other products. I don't know how they call that. That's a conflict of interest. The platform should be neutral. Okay, because those entrepreneurs cannot compete with Apple. They don't have the resource, and it's unfair. Okay, so if you are I guess a lawmaker, you might need to look into that, because this is I think Lena Khan. Yeah, Lena Khan. She probably look into those kind of stuff. I guess so. So my point is, Apple should not compete with its customers, because those customers are paying paying Apple to market their products. All right. So let's give you an example. A simple example. A product is a music product, right? A music product. Somebody comes out with a great music product. Uh, and Apple, they have their own, you know, they build their own music product applications, right? So, and you have those competing apps, okay? Someone might say, okay, the user have the choice. Yes, the user have the choice, but the problem is the uh, the field is not even-handed. The field is uh, is not even for competition, because Apple have more resources, and they have platform. They will prioritize their products, okay, and unfortunately, they will push away the other users. So this is something that needs to be looked into it, especially if it's a platform that acting as a middleman, acting as an intermediary, and also charging the users to sell their products. That platform should not have that liberty to create products that compete against other products. I think that's a case of you know having your own cake and eat it too, making your own cake and eat it too, as they say, right? This is goes against the business practice. Understand? And the same way I have explained about Amazon, which should never happen, but it happened. For some reason, people let it happen. The lawmakers, for instance, Amazon sellers are screwed because Amazon decided it's going to copy your product and they sell it better. Okay, and then nobody seemed to really enforce that. That's a clear violation, and of, also an infringement on the copyright and intellectual property of the products of these users. I mean, these sellers. You know, so what Amazon did is, if you have a great product, let's suppose you know nice t-shirts. A lot of people make t-shirts, or I don't know, it could be shoes. What up, and they have the metrics, right? Because you don't have those metrics, you don't see those metrics. Yeah, as a user you can see them, but they also have metrics for the sellers. Okay, so they have those data. So Amazon has those metrics. They know what products are performing well or what products are not performing well. So they do is they steal your idea, they go and build their own, okay, and they will market it better because it's their platform. Now, as a small business owner, you are struggling to pay your bills because Amazon is copying your product. And the lawmakers did not prevent it from happening, did not prevent it from the conflict of interest. Okay, there must be the protection of the sellers. So I'm going to give you a practical example so that people can relate to it. Because what I'm saying is some people can relate to it because they have done business, but other people they don't know, they don't care. You see, that's the thing, right? You talk about something, but only few people care, but other people are not aware of it, so they don't really care. It's really a strange way of convincing everyone. It's impossible, right? Because we are not all seeing, the world from one perspective, or from, we are not all our interests are completely divergent. It's not They are not convergent. So let's take a practical example. You live in a neighborhood, and your neighbor, one of your neighbors says, "Hey, dog, I'm gonna I'm gonna create a store where you can come and sell your product." Okay, dog says, "Yes, I have some shoes that I'm gonna sell it, but we will share the profit. I'm gonna pay you 30%, and you guys agree on it." And the store owner, the neighbor, goes somewhere else, tell Adam the same thing. Adam brings in some coffee maker, a specific coffee maker, and they are selling. So, and then you guys realize that their neighbor is trying to screw you because he decided, since he got enough money, you know what? I don't need you anymore. I don't need you guys. I'm gonna build my own. I'm gonna go to China, all right, build a cheaper product. So because he knows what is selling, he has the data. A lot of people are buying his shoes. A lot of people are buying the coffee maker, right? So he said, you know what? I'm gonna make my own coffee maker. So he took the money that you gave it to him, right? Okay, and he's gonna buy shoes and coffee makers, and he tells you, "Hey guys, get lost." What will be the reaction that you will have in that kind of situation from you know from human to human relationship? This is not sustainable relationship, right? You cannot do business with that kind of people, because in business you have to build trust. That's how you do business. You say something, your word is supposed to be uh, redeemable, right? Is an asset that can be redeemed at the bank. If somebody gives you the word, you can take that to the bank and cash it out. This is the way it's supposed to be. This is how you build your reputation. You cannot build a reputation by by back dealing, by stabbing people. We have to, we have to change that dynamic where it is okay to just give in to the animal instincts, where you have to backbite, you have to do bad dealings and screw other people around. That shouldn't be in a rule. It should be an exception. Okay, and you will be completely disappointed when you figure out your neighbor is screwing you. You see my point? So in this case, it happens to be your neighbor is Amazon, your neighbor is Uber, your neighbor is Apple, your neighbor is Google. It's the same thing, right? So we have to, well, let's take the example of Uber, right? So when Uber started, of course, there are some apps or some business before them, but since they get a lot of funding from Silicon Valley, right? Then they're able to really dominate the market. What they did is they convinced the drivers to sign up to them. That's why they do, because that's why a lot of, Uber is not making money on purpose, because they want to corner the market. They want to corner the market first. Then once they corner the market, then they will be able to make profits. The same way Amazon was not making profits. You see, it's intentional. Okay, this is something beyond human. Is a parasitic mind where you want to dominate everybody, right? To dominate, you want to take all the resources. This is a parasitic mind that comes only from Western perspective. You have to dominate the world. Okay, and a lot of people, unfortunately, the other people who have been colonized, they don't know, they fell into the system. Okay? The system has been set up by the Westerns, and they don't question it, and they get into it, right? And that is a trap. So Uber, what they did is convinced uh, drivers, and when the drivers sign up, you know what they did? They were planning to, they were investing in autopilot, self-driving cars. Why? Why would you even do that? You convince somebody, right? Let me take a typical example. You tell your neighbor Adam, "Hey Adam, I know you like to drive, and you are struggling. Come here in my company, okay? You work for me, and I'm going to give you more money." Adam says, "Yes, okay, let's do. I'm for it. Let's do it. I trust you." Then Adam realized you are investing in self-driving companies, in self-driving cars. So why would you need a self-driving car? Because you're going to replace Adam. You are paying Adam. This is exactly what they did. And then they saw that, you know, at some point, because sometimes innovation doesn't catch up, because people doesn't catch up with the innovation. It takes a lot of time to, they knew that it's going to take longer for longer term. So they have to drop the investment. Nonetheless, they are still looking into it, because right now you have Waymo, which is Google's, which is in the self-driving. You also have Tesla. So if you find out that your neighbor is screwing you by investing in a self-driving car, and which puts you in jeopardy, you will lose your job, right? So this is exactly going on. This is what I'm trying to explain. This I'm trying to understand people the bigger picture, right? How these corporations do not care about your living. Okay, what they do is, do not invite a corporation into your house. When you invite a corporation into your house, they will take over your house, and you will be on the street. Believe me, that's exactly what happens. And that this is something that immoral, right? From any stretch of the imagination, they do immoral things. You convince people to sign up for your company, the people who are doing well, by the way. Before Uber, people were making a lot of money. Okay, they were making a lot of money. So they lost a lot of their companies because of this company. They have a lot of funding behind it. They want to corner the market. So now, once they corner the market, they don't need you anymore. You see how it works? It's always been like this. Okay, unless the users is smart enough to understand the scheme, they will always fall for it. Do not invite corporations into your house or into your country. It goes the same way, because they don't have soul. Unfortunately, people, they are and it turns out that people, they have a psychological dissonance, right? Where they do things that goes against themselves, but they don't say anything. Okay, somebody who goes to church says, don't do this. This is immoral, or this is usury. But when it goes into the corporation, it does exactly the opposite. Oh, it said this is business, as if there is no relationship. There is a relationship. Life is symbiotic. Okay. Do not expect to kill the bees and at the same time try to save the planet. It doesn't work that way. Life is symbiotic. So this is I'm trying to make the case against this platform, these companies, these corporations. I'm trying to make them, I guess, moral, to bring some kind of real perspective, because this is a bad business model. This is not a valid, like winner how to takes all. That's not a model. Okay. Okay, so if you have some comments, if you disagree with me, or I don't know, whatever you agree, you can leave a comment below.